Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
A contract killer with amnesia. What an instantly delicious idea. In Bob Biswas, filmmaker Sujoy Ghosh revisits one of his most famous creations. The murderous life insurance agent from Kahaani who threw Vidya into the path of a metro train, then pulled her back and solicitously suggested that Kolkata was a dangerous city. यहाँ कहीं भी, कभी भी, कुछ भी हो सकता है. Bob, played superbly by Saswata Chatterjee, was a masterstroke, a seemingly nondescript, mild-mannered man who said namaskar to his victims before disposing of them. When the pot-bellied, balding Bob appeared behind Vidya at the metro station, he sent a chill down your spine. The character, who was only on screen for some 8 minutes, became a sensation. Bob Biswas, directed by Sujoy's daughter, debutante Vidya Anupama Chopra, and written by Sujoy, who co-wrote the dialogues with Raj Vasant, is a spin-off. When we last saw Bob in Kahaani, he had been hit by a car after a botched attempt to assassinate Vidya. It's 8 years later. He's come out of a coma and is now played by Abhishek Bachchan. The actor, with an unflattering wig and much more flab, attempts to resurrect the silky menace of the original. He can't match the ease with which Saswata walked that delicate line between creepy and charismatic. You can see the strain in Abhishek's performance as he attempts to shed the stardom and inhabit the inner life of a character who's far from heroic. But Abhishek manages to locate the peculiar mix of innocence and violence in Bob. He brings a sweetness to the character and makes him borderline endearing. Bob can't remember anything and is desperately attempting to piece together how he came to have the life that he does, which includes a wife and 2 children. In one scene, he says, "मैं अच्छा आदमी हूँ या बुरा याद नहीं है." Like I said, an instantly delicious idea, which Sujoy proceeds to squander with a curiously lame script. The first sequence, in which we're introduced to a drug named Blue and a villain named Ustad, sets the tone. Teenagers, under pressure to perform, are gobbling Blue like it's candy. Ustad looks at this desperate, scrambling boy and declares, "आजकल के बच्चे अपनी माँ बाप की नहीं सुनते, लेकिन Blue के लिए कुछ भी करने के लिए तैयार हैं." Bob gets embroiled in the mess. The stakes get personal and the killing begins. But the narrative is neither suspenseful nor believable. Kahaani, in which a heavily pregnant woman turned out to have been faking it all along, also asked us to suspend disbelief. But Sujoy, who shared a story credit with Advaita Kala, and his additional screenplay writers Nikhil Vyas and Suresh Nair, camouflaged the bumps with terrific characters and taut storytelling. Sujoy also expertly mined the contradictions of Kolkata. The city was at once old and new, sleepy and frenzied, comforting and deadly. Bob Biswas has little of these atmospherics. Bob's home has this lovely terrace which overlooks water and buildings and has this train track running in the distance. It provides him a safe space from the mayhem outside. He first makes a deeper connection with his wife here, but mostly the locations, like the story and characters, are generic. The most memorable character in the film is Kalida, played with a superb Yoda-like serenity by Paran Bandyopadhyay. Kalida is an elderly man who dispenses wisdom and homeopathic medicine, or so we think. The film hints that Kalida has also had a colorful past. If there is a spin-off from this spin-off, I recommend that it focus on Kalida. The beauty of Bob Biswas was his cold-hearted efficiency. His clients sent him photos on the phone and he killed without asking questions. But in this film, Bob has a crisis of conscience, which even takes him to a confessional at church. The storytelling doesn't have the depth to explore this existential angst fully, so it just undermines the character. Bob is neither a fearsome killer nor a convincing reformed criminal. Also, unlike the characters in Kahaani. Remember the compassionate cop Satyaki, played by Paramrata Chatterjee, or the volatile intelligence bureau officer Khan, played by Nawazuddin Siddiqui. The supporting players here are eminently forgettable. Chitrangada Singh as Bob's wife Mary has little to do, and by the time we hit the climax, the film is in free fall. Anything is possible. Sujoy is one of Hindi cinema's leading directors of thrillers. It's hard to gauge Diya's ability to follow in her father's footsteps because this film is so badly hobbled by the script. The last straw is a diary in which the details of murders have been recorded and which must be retrieved at all costs. This took me back to the climax of Dawn in 1978, in which a similar diary was being tossed between the good guys and the bad guys. I think it's time that criminals upgraded to a digital record of their crimes. You can see Bob Biswas on ZEE5. For more reviews like this, subscribe to Film Companion. Don't forget to look at our website, filmcompanion.in.